Wholeness, wholeness, wholeness. Yes, yes, it's your boy Dynamo Jakk coming from the great state of Arizona, baby. Check this out, man. I had to slide in here and show y'all this first and foremost. For a lot of people, man, that really don't be thinking like, you know, these people really know what they doing, or, that think that these people really just ain't got no grip on things. The first thing I want to show you is that, man, listen. Now, anybody that's really in depth into like getting into these studies and things like this, or studying this information, like I think that for the most part, we learned long ago that when it comes to this information, man, when the government starts releasing stuff saying that, okay, we just had this great discovery, or, like they act like they just discovered something new. Man, whatever it is that they presenting to the media or to the mainstream as something new or a new discovery, that shit's old. And it's probably over 30 years old. And by the time you get such a decimal of what they consider as technology, the advancement of their technological stage or phase has, man, surpassed what we have probably been taught to believe exists, man. Like, serious. Like, for real. Like, you ever pay attention if you watch a movie like Harry Potter and the sorcery and stuff like this, and you start to pay attention to, like, symbols and detail and the intricacy inside of what they're using to outline that, like that, that perfect picture theme. What you get to see is, man, like, what was it that Harry Potter, or what what was they using to study that magic or use to cast those spells inside of their school of thought that Harry Potter was involved in? That little wand was made out of a specific type of a tree. And that tree was called a Hollywood tree. And you can look this up, man, and see what that Hollywood tree actually is. So, and like I say, now this is just a real quick video, man. So for me to show y'all like what these people are really involved in, the type of things that they are really doing. And meanwhile, we running around in reality lost, jitter flicking and bullshit, and acting like we don't know which direction is up. Well, I'm saying this. The time is coming, man, that you're going, and this ain't no scary story or no spookism, but it's like, as an adult, man, you start to make more wiser decisions. But these decisions that you start to make, they based upon something. They based upon your knowledge and perception of who, what, and where you are right now inside of the physical plane. Even if your perception of that is incorrect. You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that it's a correct synopsis. So what I want to show you just all the way out and out, man, is how important it is, man, for us to come together and use our resources, pool our resources together. And then when we find brothers and sisters that's actually already on the path of pooling those resources, man, Joe, we need to link up with them brothers and sisters that have already gone that far into the in-depth studies of these esoteric meanings behind these religious factions. Because, like I say, everything that you experience as exoteric has an esoteric meaning to it. You see what I mean? There's an esoteric version. So, yeah, most definitely. But look what these people are doing, man. So when y'all will get into wondering, like, what is the Mandela effect? I know a lot of people be talking about what is Mandela effect, and you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not going to give a whole detailed synopsis of what the Mandela effect is up in here, but I guarantee you we will be coming through giving a more in-depth study and detail of it, because we're going to open the flow, we're going to open the mind to, like, this is going to be a place for everybody to just come in and just expound on, like, you know what I'm saying, what information do you got that everybody else already ain't got, and where did you get it? Like, what's the relevancy of it? Because we see that a lot of the shit that we experiencing right now is based upon the level of information we got. Like they say, control the information, control the behavior. And that's basically what they've been doing, man. And, like to crack it all up in a nutshell, man, we doing things that's different now. Like we originating, we creating, we building, we designing. We're designing space inside of the reality that ordinarily didn't exist before we decided that, man, whoa, wait a minute, smoking aces, pineapples. You see what I mean? Like, hold up. These people done lost their goddamn mind up in here. But if you caught up inside of the reality and not paying attention, then you done lost your goddamn mind up in there too. So when you running through the reality, acting like you don't know what to do, or you're looking for your next fix of energy, your next stage of gratification, glory, or fulfillment, that's because you're looking for your damn mind. You lost it. And in reality, it ain't necessarily like you physically lost it, just more in a mental sense, you're caught in between the stasis. You see what I mean? Trying to figure out which way is up. Do I go right? Do I go left? Do I stay here, just stay stagnant, don't move? Like, this is what I mean. We inside of a reality, man, to where even our most brilliant and advanced thoughts, right? Even the most in-depth meaning behind the conversations that we engage in, they don't have any substance behind them. They can't free us or anything from nothing. And everybody just around this motherfucker yelling, black power this, black power that. Ain't got no goddamn power. It's like, all we, like, it ain't knocking nobody for what they say or what they do. What I'm saying is, if it's an agenda behind it, then state what your cause is. Because if you got as much information as you say you do, or anybody else as we say we do, if we as smart as we say we are, then we understand what the fuck power really is. What power really means. The people that own your reality or that control everything inside of your reality, they only do that because they own all your power companies. So when you start talking about power, you got to understand that even that's esoteric and exoteric. You got to be able to understand the in-depth version of what power means. Like who you calling the Illuminati. They're not really the Illuminati. They own this title or the deed to this title because, man, they own your power companies. So that's what we got to realize, man, that it ain't really a time for people to sit here, man, and start jitterflicking and bullshitting this information to us. Because inside of this reality where we had it or where we at right now, it's like a sink or swim moment. But let it be known for those of us that choose to swim. You see what I mean? Like, the stronger we are, the more knitted we are, the more united we are, the tighter we are, then we really ain't, it's not saying that we protected from all forces of nature or all ill-gotten gain, or you see what I mean? Because these people, bro, listen, they at work. Just as much as we at work up in here, man, they working like little minions, man, behind the scenes, non-stop, never running out of energy. When one's asleep, another one's awake. And they got shit to help them to deal with crafts of monotony. So like if a person falls into a monotonous stage to where the work that they set out to do just ain't exhilarating and exciting anymore, oh, they got some shit for you. So what that's, and that's something we need to understand. This damn government done reached a level of power just by harnessing power, right? And that's all what they doing over here in CERN is re-emulating or mimicking the same thing that's taking place inside of the North Pole. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't know anything about the North Pole or think that the North Pole is just some place where this fat Santa Claus looking guy, his wife and his dwarves and elves or whatever they is, with his reindeer sit, like we really don't really get a good understanding of what the North Pole is. But the North Pole is that 0-point energy field where souls enter and exit through the spaces of reality. Like you have a North Pole 0-point energy field where inside of your inner verse, that spiritual energy or that spiral energy or that soul force, right? Because those two energies actually merge. There's a coalescence of the two of them, right? The spiral force, that spirit energy, and that soul force, that solar energy. You see what I mean? So like there's a whole lot of esoteric understanding and a whole lot of esoteric information that stands behind what understanding the depth of this shit means. Because there's so many different things that they don't put like in your way. Like real life shit. You got a lot of people, man, that, and I say this, like, stay up out the religious shit. It's like people think that the only way to get free is to engage in all the religious doctrine shit they doing. And nah, man, that's the shit you got to do to reconnect or rebalance. Like, but that's you. It don't mean everybody got to do what you got to do to rebalance. Like, you wake up consciously inside of your own space. Then if that space is consciously disconnected, then you know that you need to be doing these things to realign yourself back to that harmonic field or flow of etheric energy, right? But everybody ain't disconnected from it. Some people literally are locked inside of that harmonic flow to where, man, just because they don't sing and move and groove in motion like you do, don't mean that you're more connected than they are, or that they're disconnected more than you are. So what people really need to understand is that, man, listen, inside of the space that you at right now, or inside that space that you in, you just right there, because that's where you need to be for you personally to get the information that's necessary for you right then and there. It's just necessary for you. But it don't mean that when you turn around and try to re-explain this same level of information, that you're going to be speaking to a crowd of people that's vibrating on the frequency of you. Hence, the person that was probably vibrating higher than you being able to relate the information to you. So yes, please understand that, man. But listen, I just wanted to show y'all this, man. Listen, just check this out so y'all can get an understanding of what these people into, man. This is advanced, you know. And even though it's advanced to, you know, just our current level of understanding, it's really not advanced. Because I promise you, like, whether you know it or not, man, inside of your own consciousness, man, you wouldn't believe the type of shit you can actually do. Like, and they'll have you focused on all this type of stuff right here. And I'm only putting this in front of you so that you can see that, man, you better tear these shells and these chains and all of this shit off that you wearing called a human being right now, man. Because all of your perceptions and ideals of what a human being is what got you locked inside of that body right now with no escape. Now, researchers from Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology teamed up with colleagues from the United States and Switzerland and returned the state of a quantum computer a fraction of a second into the past. Check that out, baby. Yes, yes, yes. Don't sit here and let these people play with y'all, man. They've been doing this shit. What you got right here is one specific field or area, one specific group of scientists that, for whatever reason, got to get the spotlight for their specific role inside of this little fake quantum breakthrough, which is like, come on, brother, we're always only rediscovering things. And what I'm guaranteeing you is that scientists at CERN and other scientific labs or science labs that are being ran by these governments like Australia, Germany, Russia, like Iran, Syria, like, man, you got some advanced technology shit going on out here. They've been doing this type of stuff, brother. And they've been doing this stuff. So, like, this is just somebody, man, and even when you get to seeing, like, the names and who get to get the, you know, the glory, the shine, the light, go off into all of that shit. Break all of that shit down, because some people just don't really be who you think they is, just because they got to make a claim or a statement or something. Because you get to go and find out that Albert Einstein, or whatever his name is, wasn't all that damn smart after all. And not only was he not smart, he was a goddamn idiot. So yeah, let me bag up on this one a little bit. Now, they also calculated the probability that an electron in empty interstellar space will spontaneously travel back into its recent past. Check that out. I'm letting that sit up here for y'all so y'all can see that. Now, researchers from the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology teamed up with colleagues from the United States and Switzerland and returned the state of a quantum computer a fraction of a second into the past. They also calculated the probability that an electron in empty interstellar space will spontaneously travel back into its recent past. Will spontaneously travel back into its recent past. Man, hey, that make me think about, man, because, you know, like, my bro, man, 7, I don't know if y'all really hear, like I say, go check it out. Secret Energy, Sylvain Beaumar, snatch it up, go into the links. he always talking about moving forward, but you know, as the planet always is going back into the same space that it just left, because we're moving on a cycle, which is a circle, right? Time is not linear, but I don't want to go too far into that either. I just, like I say, I jumped in, family, because I want y'all to see all of the different things that are taking place here. In order for scientists to get involved in some shit like this and start to hacking and tampering with the organic structure of time and the way time flows and moves, because time never was when man was not, right? But when man starts to fuck with the organic flow in the direction of that time and collapse that moment back onto itself, that's what you get inside of it. Is called a phantom matrix or black hole theories. This is where time is collapsed onto itself and sucked into this black hole type of a space where there are lower harmonic frequencies, entities, or beings that exist in those lodges of space. And whether you know it or not, that's how we got here inside of this three-dimensional space, from 7 dimensions to the 5th dimension to the 3rd dimension. Like, so the information is deep, is good, and is gooey. And I want y'all to stay in tune with it, because now, yeah, this I got this link right here, man, from Scott.net. Article is called Time Reversal Achieved by Physicists Using Quantum Computer, right? But I did. Now look at this. However, imagine if someone has recorded a cue ball breaking the pyramid, the billiard ball scattering in all directions. One need not know the rules of the game to tell the real life scenario from reverse playback. What makes the latter look so absurd is our intuitive understanding of the second law of thermodynamics. An isolated system either remains static or evolves towards a state of chaos rather than order. Man, hey, listen, just inside of this little bitty article, bro, they give you a whole lot of information to fly with that starts helping you connect dots to shit that you already knew. And that's the whole purpose, to literally take information and build your consciousness template from it. Because the information is always inside of the neural network, you just disconnect it. Right? So now, an isolated system either remains static or evolves toward a state of chaos rather than order. Now, most other laws of physics do not prevent rolling billiard balls from assembling into a pyramid, infuse tea from flowing back into a tea bag, or a volcano from erupting in reverse. But we do not see any of this happening, because that would require an isolated system to assume a more ordered state without any outside intervention, which runs contrary to the second law. The nature of that law has not been explained in full detail, but researchers have made great headway in understanding the basic principles behind it. Spontaneous time reversal. Check me out, baby. Quantum physicists from MIT decided to check if time could spontaneously reverse itself, at least for an individual particle and for a tiny fraction of a second. That is, instead of colliding billiard balls, they examined a solitary electron in empty interstellar space. Now, suppose the electron is localized when we begin observing it. This means that we're pretty sure about its position in space. The laws of quantum mechanics prevents us from knowing it with absolute precision, but we can outline a small region where the electron is localized, says study co-author Audrey Lebedev from MIT and ETH Zurich. The physicist explains that the evolution of the electron state is governed by Schrodinger's equation. Now, I don't know if y'all really hip to who or what the Schrodinger is, or who Schrodinger is and what his equation is. But he's the guy that, you know, he did the experiment using the Geyser counter and the cat, and showed how the state of the existing space, it's literally neutral until you decide. It's like literally based upon a decider, upon the observer. It's like inside of your mind already, whatever you decide to, and man, listen, matter of fact, because that's going to be something that's very epic, man. I'm going to enclose the link in the, like the description or whatever to the Schrodinger equation to show y'all the experiment he did using the cat, bro, so that you will see how serious this shit is when we start talking about, man, space-time. You know, I know a lot of people still running around here, you know, it's still God and the devil. And that's cool. But just understand this shit. You know, after all God and the devil stories, you still back at square one. Before the God and the devil stories, there was just you, baby. Now, however, okay, hold on. Although it makes no distinction between the future and the past, the region of space contained in the electron will spread out very quickly. That is, the system tends to become more chaotic. The uncertainty of the electron's position is growing. This is analogous to the increasing disorder in a large-scale system, such as a billiard table, due to the second law of thermodynamics. However, Schrodinger's equation is reversible, adds Valerie Vinokur, a co-author of the paper from the Argonne National Laboratory, US. Mathematically, it means that under a certain transformation called complex conjugation, y'all better come on, man. Hey, y'all got to get into this science, man. Like, forget BET. Fuck who came out with the next nice pair of shoes, man. Fuck getting your car spray painted and who fucking who, and fuck all of that shit, man. Who got more money than who? And listen, man, all y'all got less money than somebody and more money than somebody else. So who gives a fuck about how much money you do or don't got, man? Now, mathematically, it means that under a certain transformation called complex conjugation, the equation will describe a smeared electron localizing back into a small region of space over the same time period. Although this phenomenon is not observed in nature, it could theoretically happen due to a random fluctuation in the cosmic microwave background permeating the universe. Oh yeah, you better understand. These people ain't playing when they start talking, man. They be specific with their language, brother. Like, you got to understand that once you get into a certain height or a certain, you scale a certain height of your career, you understand, brother, and they understand the intensity behind your verbiage, right? Your language has to literally line up with the specifics of the ramifications being spoken of. So when they talk, they literal. They're not speaking in subliminals, bro, because they're speaking to each other. It just be so happen you got people like me that stumble across shit like this because I'm a researcher. This is all I do. I study. How are they doing so many things and yet no one knows what the hell they're doing? And I see why. It's because they entertain you. They got you entertained. And as long as you are entertained, then you won't be you won't really too much be worried about what's going on behind the scenes. And it's like the Wizard of Oz movie, right? Where the whole time you had the wizard behind this curtain just tearing the world up, had everybody fucked up into a disarray. This person's short of heart. That person needed a brain. This nigga ain't had no courage. It was just nuts, right? Which you can see inside of the reality. You have those characteristics and personalities that expand throughout different cultures and like link up into different people. So they're not just individuals. You see what I mean? Like, these are whole brain waves or oscillations that are connected to people. So anyway, you had all of this going on, and the wizard back here just doing his thing, G. And anybody seen the motherfucking Wizard of Oz, and you seen where the little dog, I think, was it Toto? Is Toto the little boy name? Toto. Toto was a cool little nigga, Joe. I wish I had a dog like Toto. Little nigga was cool as fuck, dude. Little black dog, wasn't he, man? Nigga's always cool. But look, this little nigga back here trying to show everybody, Joe, like, oh, man, this nigga's tripping. Like, this nigga's ill. You see what I mean? But meanwhile, everybody's still focused on what's being said and, what's going on over the loud screen and the speakers and shit. But the dog over here showing everybody, man, hey, and, he in the back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, hey, man, this nigga over here tripping, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come back and get y'all money, man. Go get your heart, nigga. Go get your courage, your guts, your gall, and your glory. You see what I mean? So like, this is what we caught up inside of right now, man. And whether you know it or not, like the law say, each one teach one, each one reach one. As I grow, so shall you too grow. So it's only right by design that once I learn these things, bro, I reach out and extend my hand. Because see, there's multiple different realms, realities, and worlds that are functioning and existing all at the same time that parallel overlap this plane. And you exist in each and every dimensional space on those parallel planes. I don't want to go too far into that because you know why? A lot of my religious people, I still got a lot of my family, man, they get religious, you know, they still religious, but now, hey, they're going to have to just suck it the hell up and take the fact that, man, listen, it don't mean that everything you have done with yourself is null and void. What it means is, man, we got hoodwinked, yes. But take everything that you know, though, right? And I don't mean the information. I mean the ingenuity, the intactness of your ability to make disciplined decisions, sound choices. Now, align that shit with common sense and start to place yourself back into the spaces of, you know, people that have a much broader perception about reality than, you know, I'm sorry to say, that this little book give you. Because I find it hard that people able to live their whole life out of 1,000 pages. When, nigga, you can give me a stop sign and I can write 1,000 pages about that stop sign, how it got here, what type of substance it's built from, how it gets shaped into that type of specific. Like, man, Joe, you can say so much about that thing. And you telling me that somebody gave you everything that you needed inside of 1,000 pages, man. Fuck no. Thought, yeah, you thought I was going soft on that one, didn't you? Hell no. Because the way that I get you to see yourself is by putting you on. Not by pussyfooting and jitterflicking with you, but by making you look at yourself in the mirror like I make myself look at myself in the mirror. Because you got to make yourself see change like I see change. And you won't see change unless you see the mistake or the problem that's there to begin with. And if you don't understand, before a problem, like, what is the word solution? Solution existed before the problem, and the word solution is the word soul. So unless you know that the solution was here before the problem was here, man. And y'all getting all this shit, and I just got this shit from one of my queen sisters, man, Sister Day-Ass Widgeby. She said, man, listen, if it's already inside of books and movies, then it's already been done before. Y'all ain't getting it, man. They showing y'all everything inside of these movies and shit. But we so caught up with trying to flex on each other, though, trying to outdo each other. Instead of coming together, making sure that we all get to the top, we making it hard on ourselves and everybody else by competing. But we can just come together and utilize our strengths and strategies and put this shit inside of a pot, and everybody start to project their uniqueness into the reality. Everybody start helping each other cultivate their uniqueness. And then you will start to see the importance of staying together as a unified field. Because of the shit that you're experiencing inside of the reality right now, we only experiencing this shit because these people got us jammed up, man. They got us jammed up. And if you don't understand what I mean when I say they got us jammed up, even the very fucking existence of electricity itself, TVs, electronic monitors, all of this shit, your watches, the fake ass gold that they give us and say is real gold. Like, come on, man. All of these things are literally placed into your reality, and the things that are actually organic to your reality were taken out of your reality to actually, like, let's build this artificial neural network and to teach the human biological entity to connect to and function with the inorganic artificial network. So this is what we doing. Now, like I said, man, I just brought this up here, man, just to show y'all, man. I'm gonna put this right up in there so you can see what's all going on, what these people into, what you need to be aware of. Because whether you know it or not, man, We all we got. And all we need to do is, and I guarantee you, yes, I'm bringing it forward, man. All we need is real strategy plan, real financial plans that will help us. It don't mean that you got to give people your cash, man. What it means is it's just you taking your asset, you taking your common sense, you taking your reasonability and logic, and you pooling it together. It's like you don't have to surrender to somebody else in order to be able to maintain structure inside of your own reality. No, man, make friends, make allies. You don't need to be looking for a boss. Be a boss. Don't teach your child to be a servant or a slave. Teach them to design, build, and create, man. Like, just imagine. You teach your child all of this, like, hey, man, you got to get it, go get you a good education. And right, you pay all this money for this beautiful ass education, but what do it really give you? What is that education really worth? Can you go sit down right now and make your own light bulb? No. Can you right now go in there and twerk or create your own computer? No. You got all these niggas right now, man, in the game, right? $100 million, man, $200-300 million, almost worth $1 billion. But these niggas still dumb as fuck. All they know how to do is tell you, fuck the world, man. I'm finna live it to the living and love it alive. Right? I'm living my best life. Like, that's all it is. These niggas still dumb as fuck, though. And you think that life is really just about physically living your best life without any spiritual repercussion behind it. And that's where you're wrong at. Because everything that they're doing, they're putting money into these people to keep them into the spotlight with your attention casting the shadow upon or casting the light upon them while they misguide and misdirect your consciousness and your awareness so that you will in turn throw your children up there to be done the same way. But hey, man, who am I, right? I'm just a sucker that been through the same bullshit you've been through, but just figured it out, man. Start being able to see it from the other side. Like, wait a minute, there's a game being played here, family. And in order for us to get up out of the game, that means we got to pause and walk away from it. Now, we can't keep playing the game, crying about it, and then saying it ain't fair. It won't never be fair. It's a game. The game is Jimmy rigged. It ain't supposed to be fair. You playing in a game. The game is built to test you. What is your ingenuity? What is your skill finding traits? What can you accomplish inside of this space? You crying about the game because the game beating your ass. It's supposed to beat your ass. It's a game. Wholeness, family. And I do want to say this, man, first and foremost, I know a lot of people be thinking like, man, Joe, I hope he don't be yelling at us. Or why this nigga always yelling? No, it's a couple of reasons. One, I just got a whole lot of fire inside, Joe. It's water, but it's fire too. Now, I'm water when I'm just chilling. I'm just relaxed, bro. But, sometimes when it's just that moment and it's time to get on camera, it's fire that brought me here, right? Sometimes water gonna bring me here, but sometimes fire gonna bring me here. You see what I mean? So I don't want y'all to think that I'm actually, some type of an angry dude or something. No, hey, man. It's just like, it's the passion, it's the love. I'm actually very, very happy. Like, life has never inside of my history of existing inside of this physical plane, being conscious of my reality, been this damn good for me, man. And it still ain't nowhere near where I'm angling it to be. You see what I'm saying? So, man, with that being said, I just want to say that I love y'all. Wholeness, one tribe, man. We are, hey, look us up. SecretEnergy.com. Secret Energy. I'm going to start putting those links in. I'm going to start putting them in. Check us out. Fund us, sponsor us, get us cracking. Help us move this consciousness into all the other spaces. I love y'all.